are in match 2, currently 1-0. Yes, I'd like to be on the play, please. Hand is good, missing green mana, but I think that's fine. I think as long as we find a forest, we're in pretty good shape. We can go turn 1, Soul Attendant, turn 2, Bodyguard, and then we have a couple turns to draw into a green source in order to hit our commune. So don't hate it. Opponent going to 6. Let's start off with a Soul's Attendant and pass the turn. See what our opponent is on. Affinity, or perhaps Boros. Don't know how that matchup is. There's a Journey, which will help with either one. Will this be a Galvanic Blast? Yep, could still be either one. Do we even have any hate against Affinity? We might not. We might not. I hope they just tap out for an ATOG here. Chain Lightning? That makes me think it must be Boros. And now they'll bounce that back to their hand. Yeah, it's Boros. So, Really need to draw a green source here. Instead, we draw Battle Screech. Maybe this hand was a little too ambitious, but I think with a green spell, it would have been a green source. It would have been fine. Of course, no way of no way of knowing what our opponent's on. Prismatic Strands at least is good here, better than against the blue-black deck, because they have actual removal, and this will have damage-based removal. Oh, come on! Now I really just need a green source. I don't think it's worth it to journey this Thraben Inspector. I'm gonna save this for a bird or for something else. But yeah, if our opponent just becomes the Monarch here, we're pretty hosed. They're not, so that's good. Could be attacking for 1. Okay, so they're on the more traditional build. So that makes me kind of want to... If I don't draw a land next turn, I think I am going to have to Journey Thraben Inspector, which doesn't feel great, but yeah, I just have nothing else going on. Battle Screech is probably pretty good here, but I just don't want my opponent getting in a bunch of free hits or being able to bounce that and then generate some more clues. It is a little bit worse now that my opponent's actually cast Wellspring, but not much I can do. I don't feel like we're in a very good spot right now because we lost our Benevolent Bodyguard. We didn't draw a third land. Things aren't going great. Oh, well, that's even worse. I'm probably taking out the Journeys. Wow, this is a blowout. I'm getting steamrolled here. Like, I only have 1 untapped green source in the deck. If I don't draw a land, I don't want to just concede. But yeah, wow, this is a blowout. I don't think I can win the game anymore. Plus that, yeah, that's not good. I'll probably concede if I don't draw a land. Because my opponent will be hitting me for 5, and my time is very limited. They might not know 100% what I'm on. Yeah, let's go ahead and concede. Like I said, they might not know 100% what I'm on, so maybe we can use that to our advantage. But I don't see a reason in continuing to play a game that I have no way of coming back from. So Ray Revelation is probably pretty decent against them because they will be bringing in... they have Journey to Nowheres of their own. And I'll take out my Journeys because I don't think they're very good. And then I actually think I want some number of Spider Silk Armors because it will protect my combo from Electricity, which I'm sure they have. So... we'll bring in that. We already also have 3 Prismatic Strands, so I think 3 Spider Silks is probably fine. We'll probably cut the Sins Enlistments. I don't think they're very strong here. Most of our opponent's creatures have flying. And we'll also maybe cut a Rally the Peasants. We're not the aggro deck here. We're looking to combo out. So I wonder if I want to take out the second Rally, but at the same time, that can present a lot of damage. So I kind of don't want to. But I wonder if Oblivion Ring is actually... no, because they have a... yeah, they have that guy. So actually, we'll leave in the Rally and hope that they do not draw Core Sanctifiers. But I think we've made it a little bit easier on ourselves. It just makes us that we probably don't want to cast Midnight Guard and Presence of God in the same turn. I also like that they're not the Monarch build. I think we'd have a much harder time dealing with that. Although it might be relatively easy for us to take the Monarch. Our creatures are... actually, no, it wouldn't be. It'd be very difficult. Our creatures are much weaker than theirs, even though they're also running a bunch of 1/1s. They also have a bunch of 2/2s and 2/3s, and our deck is just not equipped to really fight through that. So I'm happy to play first, and I'm happy that they're not on a more difficult version of the deck. This hand seems fine. Double Benevolent Bodyguard, or triple Benevolent Bodyguard and Midnight Guard. So let's keep. We have all of our mana sources too. We'll lead off with the Blossoming Sands. Next turn we'll play a Bodyguard, and we can bounce the Blossoming Sands back to our hand. And now we're just looking for Presence of Gond. And a backup Midnight Guard isn't bad. I think it's okay to play Benevolent Bodyguard here simply because we have nothing else to do with our mana and we have more extra bodyguards. And the next turn we can play Midnight Guard and I guess hope to top deck Presence of Gond. But if we... Oh, well... Yeah, now we can't do that. So now what I'll do is I'll probably play Blossoming Sands and then pass. I don't really want to play a Benevolent Bodyguard into an open board, especially when I found another Midnight Guard to protect. Let's call this deck Guards. But I also don't want to just play a naked Midnight Guard onto the battlefield. So I'm going to wait for a turn where I can play the Benevolent Bodyguard and the Midnight Guard at the same time. And we'll go from there. Colony Garden is probably better to play than Blossoming Sands at this juncture. No, I actually want to play Blossoming Sands. The reason behind that is if I draw Battle Screech, I can play it next turn. So that is a consideration. So I will go ahead and get my second white source down. And the next turn, if nothing happens, I'll play out Colony Garden. My opponent's off to a pretty slow start here. Core Skyfisher, is probably the biggest creature in their deck. I'm a longtime Boros player, as probably many of you know. So I think I kind of know what I'm playing against. I don't know how I like our chances. Because they have probably 4 bolts, 4 galvanic blasts during into nowhere, and firebolt, which isn't very good against Midnight Guard, but it's good against some of our other cards. And there's Presence of Gond. So that is very interesting. And what I think I'm going to do is, unfortunately, I cannot play out the Midnight Guard and the Benevolent Bodyguard. So I think what I'm going to do is I could have totally done that. Misplays. Mistakes were made. I think I'll go ahead and just play out a naked Midnight Guard, and that way if they have no removal, I can go for the combo. And then if they do, I of course have some Benevolent Bodyguards to back up my second Midnight Guard. So I'm going to try and transform that misplay into a win here. And I do realize I am misplaying quite a bit. This deck is not always clear to me exactly what I should be playing. Okay, if they have a follow-up Firebolt, then this is bad. But Blazing Volley, I'm really not scared of. Galvanic Blast, fine. 2 for 1ing themselves, so that's fine. Playing Ichor Wellspring, getting in for 2. Next turn, I can play Benevolent Bodyguard and Midnight Guard. If I draw another white source, I could also play... Well, Selesnya Sanctuary. So, we'll play Midnight Guard. We'll play Benevolent Bodyguard. And yeah, I think it was absolutely a misplay the way I sequenced this last turn. And I hope it doesn't cost me the game because my opponent could easily have 2 removal spells here. Maybe I should have even waited a turn to play another Benevolent Bodyguard because if I don't pull through here, then I'm kind of I'm in a bad spot. So yeah, in response, I'll give him pro red. I think it's more likely that they left in their red damage spells. Although if they don't do anything in response, maybe I'll name white. All right, yeah, there's a bolt. All right, now we're in trouble. I definitely misplayed the previous turn by not playing the Benevolent Bodyguard and the Midnight Guard in the same turn, and I think that's actually going to cost us the game, and I apologize to all of our viewers because, yeah, that was just sloppy. So we'll take 2 here, and then I guess we'll just hope for the best. Sure. Let's play Soul Warden. Stay in the game a little longer. Yeah, that was bad. I punted very hard. I mean, our opponent doesn't have a whole lot, but Core Skyfisher, Thraben Inspector is probably pretty tough for this deck to beat. And if they ever draw Koldatha Rebirth, then it's going to be pretty ugly. I don't want to block either of these, so we'll just go ahead and take it. And then I guess we're really just hoping that we draw another Midnight Guard or a way to filter our lands. Rare Revelation, pretty not good here. Let's go ahead and play our mountain and pass the turn. Actually, we would probably be fine. We have won the game if I had sequenced the turn the other way. I guess there's no way of knowing what else my opponent has in their hand. Maybe their hand is just 4 more bolts. Well, there's a Commontary birth, or 3 more bolts. I mean, 3 more burn spells, 4 more burn spells, whatever. We do gain some life here, which is nice. It is frustrating that we just really need Midnight Guard in order to win here. So we'll immediately lose that 3 damage. So we essentially fog for the turn. There's Boros Garrison. Sure, I'll bounce my County Garden. So, I mean, if they have Rally the Peasants, we're just dead. So I don't even know if there's a point in blocking. Especially, are they going to bolt us here? Electrickery. Yeah, we're pretty screwed. Yeah. Just the early turn I didn't sequence right. Really cost us here. Yeah, and another Commontary Rebirth where we're not winning this game. We'll gamely play it out though, and I appreciate you watching. If they have a rally here, then sure. Well, they don't. That's surprising. But now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They do have lethal next turn if I don't draw anything. I guess I could play Benevolent Bodyguard as a blocker, but they'll just flashback Firebolt. Well, we do have County Garden. Boros is my favorite deck. I just wanted to play this one because it's a little newer, has a little bit more hype to it, but I think the Boros deck is very well positioned. Okay, that's probably good enough. I'm just going to go ahead and concede, and I'll see everyone in round 3.